guys, and I will be doing a look with this Colourpop palette. It's the Legend of Korra palette. You've seen this color story yesterday when I did the unboxing video and the swatches for most of the things, except I did not swatch the palette. So the first shade we are gonna go into is the shade Change, and it's just this dark navy blue shade. That's just gonna go all into my crease and outer V. That will later be winged out, so it's just gonna go into my crease about halfway through, and then I'm gonna start building it above the crease as well. So this dark navy blue shade, I can tell already performs way better than the navy blue orca shade from Colourpop's Aurora Struck palette. Now that I got the placement I want, I'm just gonna wing it out, and I'm gonna take my angled brush for this step, because winging out with the angled brush for me is just much easier, and I get the sharpness more precise and right away. So I kind of bought it up here where I didn't want, so I'm just cleaning that, and then I'm gonna continue to wing it out. Now there's a lot of kickback in the pans of this, and just a lot of kickback in the Colourpop pans in general, like the pans in general. Tend to have kickback, which I don't mind. It's just like the dust particles from the eyeshadow shades itself. Now I know that some people like me don't mind, and some people do, so I just mention it either way. So I'm gonna go back into the bigger brush and bring that a little bit more into the outer V, so it could meet about halfway through where everything else just met. Now I'm good with that. I'm just gonna fix the wing. Now the wing over here just has this faded effect towards the end. I'm just building it up as I go until I get the pigmentation on the outer part of the wing as well. Because you could always add more, but taking away is a lot harder. And oopsies, I kind of have to fix the wing a little bit, because now it's the thickness I like, but not the sharpness. Okay, now I like this wing better. The only issue is that I kind of brought this down a little bit way too much, and it's not blended like how I like it, so I didn't want to bring it down that far. Like, I'm starting to like the wing a little bit better, but still not as sharp as possible, so I have to fix that again. So this just gonna bring down a little bit to make the wings thicker. Then I'll take out any extras on the bottom. I just dragged it down for that purpose. Alright, so next shade is going to be the Multichrome. The best way to do this is one layer so it's not like gonna get flaky. So that's just gonna go on the rest of my lids. And I'm not gonna, once I get it on my lids, the thing I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna look up. So that way it has time to dry and stay like that. And it doesn't transfer. So I'm just gonna work on getting a little bit of, before it dries down fully or halfway, to get the best blendability without any extra picking up of that change color. I'm just gonna tap it, the Multichrome, into change to create that gradient effect. Now I just need to blend it out a little bit more and fix the air later. Now that it's dry a little bit more, I'm gonna fix that air over here. I brought it up too high. Now, all I need to do is that it's mostly dry, windshield wiping motions for this Multichrome shade to blend it in a little bit better. So the shade, again, got a little bit patchy there. Best thing to do is just blend it in with a finger. Oopsies. Just blend it in with a finger now and try to get most of the patchy areas. Just like tap in those patchy areas and wait for it to dry. And now I'm just gonna add one more thin layer in that section that got patchy, just a little bit. And then I'm gonna go back into the same brush again and just blend it out more in the inner corners. Also, sorry, my parents were walking in the background. I was just talking to them, but I'm just gonna bring that in the inner corner a little bit so it can match how this eye looks. but not like in where I put in the inner corner highlight. Just gonna look down more and wait for it to dry. Now I'm pretty sure they get patchy in this area, so I'm just gonna tap over it with no additional product. Just the multichrome that was like left on the brush. I'm just gonna fix that patchy area over here with just a little bit additional product now that I tap most of it. Again, just blend the edges seamlessly for this gradient effect. Now the reason I want the multichrome to dry down is because I'm going to put another matte shade there, and that matte shade is just gonna blend out with everything else. It's just gonna blend out with the multichrome and blend out with the darker matte. As you can see, thinner layers are better, so it's not flaky like how it got yesterday. And for my shade that I'm gonna just put, that's like hugging up here and winged out above that multichrome and chain shade, was the water bending shade, which is this baby blue right over here. And that's just gonna help make the look more like a graphic liner effect with that, but with an eyeshadow instead. And it's just gonna bring everything more together, look more like different gradients of how water would look like. You know how you have the dark and midtones, so that's just what I wanted this water inspired look to have, different tones in it. And the water multichrome does shift from blue to violet to teal. So now I'm just gonna follow the wing that I have on the chain shade with that water bending shade and just wing it out to the same length and winging out the same way that I did. So that way it's a cohesive look. Now I could just build up this shade a little bit more, but not exactly built it up way too much that it's gonna touch my eyebrows. Just build it up above my crease and build the color up enough for it to show like a pigmented as it got on my left eye. Now, whenever a shade is not doing something I want in a certain area, the best way to do is pick up a little bit more product on your brush and just tap in that area, and it should build up the color there. And I'm gonna do the same thing on the winged out version of the light blue, because the texture is kind of over here on the outer corner. I need to do that tapping motion so it's not patchy. Now that I got that general effect, I just want to make sure that the look is as cohesive as possible. I'm just going to fix the left eye a little bit more because it's kind of spacey over here. Not how I wanted it, but now it's just looking better. For the last shade, I'm gonna go into Rebel Spirit, and that's just gonna be my inner corner highlight. It's just this icy blue shade or white with a blue undertone, and so it's not as white as Air Shade. I can definitely see the blue undertone in there, and this one has different colored sparkles in here. It is their Super Shock formula, so it's very putty, and it looks like I used a lot even though I didn't use or dip my finger in that deep. It's just because of the putty formula that it makes it look that way, even though I just went on the very soft area, like very softly into it, and swirled around my finger very softly. So that is the completed look with this palette from Colourpop's Legend of Korra collection, or Colourpop in general has a lot of story colors, and this is just one of the few Colourpop palettes that I own. So this was the water inspired look that I've created. On my lips, I am just wearing the shade, if I didn't mention earlier, Loyal Friend, which is inspired by Naga, this polar bear or polar bear dog spirit animal. And this is just the color I'm wearing on my lips, the soft, warm nude shade. And I want to quickly try out the highlighter. So there's more spirit animals on this highlighter with the bronze decoration. This highlighter does come with a huge mirror, and it is tie-dye, also in their Super Shock formula. It just looks like that, a golden pinky champagne color, which I'm just gonna put on my cheeks. And then I'm just gonna repeat the same thing on the other cheeks, or the other cheek of mine. Now, I don't know if the Multichrome is picking up, but I hope it is picking up that beautiful kind of Multichrome effect that gives off that blue, violet to teal. Now I want to put a little bit of that highlighter on my temples as well. So I'm just gonna make it kind of go up here. Take my finger on this side, just go like this, and on this side to blend it in and melt it into my skin more seamlessly as I tap these edges, so it just doesn't look like a streak of highlighter, and it looks more like a highlight effect. Then I'm gonna put a little bit of that on my nose. I have a thing on my what is it called? Cotton round got stuck on my nose over here. So I'm just gonna put that like this. blend it out a little bit more. And that's how the highlighter looks like. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. More videos will be coming soon, and I still have 2 palettes to do a look with, and they're gonna be from Glamlight, the Scooby-Doo collection. So stay in tuned for that. Bye guys.